Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we'll be talking about the all-new 2024 Toyota Tacoma. Before getting into today's video, though, I do want to mention if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. With that being said, let's get into it. So I just made a video about the new Toyota 4Runner, which shares a lot of the same changes that are happening with the Tacoma. So we're going to kind of go through everything a little bit quicker. If you want a more in-depth look, then just go watch that 4Runner video. So first off, the new Tacoma is still going to be a body-on-frame truck. It's going to be built on the same platform that the new Land Cruiser, the new Tundra, and Sequoia are built on, except it's shrunk down for the 4Runner and for the Tacoma as well. The Tacoma is still going to have all of its same packages that it has right now, from the SR all the way up to the TRD Pro. But there are going to be some capability changes for the 2024 model year, similar to what you have with the 4Runner, where they might, just slightly amp things up a little bit with the TRD Pro. But judging by what they've done with the new Sequoia and Tundra TRD Pro, it's not going to be like a huge increase in capability, but there's going to be a slight increase. We might finally get a Tacoma with 33s from the factory, which would actually be really cool. No 35s though yet, sadly. That would be awesome, but I don't think we're going to see that on a mid-size truck from the factory for quite some time. And then just like the 4Runner, from a powertrain perspective, it's going to most likely get the turbocharged 2.4 liter four-cylinder that is in the Lexus NX. It's paired to an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's good for like 275 horsepower, 317 pound-feet of torque. And then there will also be a hybrid powertrain with the Tacoma as well. Toyota has commented on how they want every single one of their vehicles to have a hybrid option by 2025. So the Tacoma, being no different, will definitely have a hybrid option. Now, there's been talks of it being, that turbocharged 2.4 liter four-cylinder with a hybrid, or maybe the current V6 with a hybrid, which is actually a powertrain that you can already get within Toyota's lineup. They have that in the Lexus RX already with the, again, V6 with a hybrid system. So maybe they'll put that into the Tacoma. I think it'd be better if they did the turbocharged four-cylinder, though, with the hybrid, so that it, they could make it like a higher performance version of the Tacoma, rather than a naturally aspirated V6 hybrid that's just, frankly, not all that powerful, especially compared to what mid-size trucks are putting out in today's market from a power perspective. Moving on from that, stylistically with the truck, there's been kind of like two different camps. There's the one camp that thinks that the new Tacoma is going to look like a mini Tundra, which makes sense, right? Toyota's kind of going for a certain style with their vehicles, but there's the other camp that thinks it's just going to look like the Toyota EV concept, but then not an EV. So if you guys don't know, Toyota released a bunch of EV concepts a few months ago, like an FJ EV and then a Toyota Tacoma EV as well. And that styling might just be the styling that we're going to get with the new Tacoma. We don't know for sure. I'm kind of more in that camp because, Toyota obviously spent the time and money to engineer that, concept. And so I'm guessing that it makes sense if they just put that styling onto the new Tacoma, but we will see what happens at this point. And then from an interior perspective, just like the new Tundra, Sequoia, and then 4Runner that I made a video about, it's going to get Toyota's updated interior. So like the TRD Pro is going to have the cool military print seats, and it's going to have a bigger infotainment system. You're going to have a full digital gauge cluster available for higher end packages like the TRD Pro, but lower down packages like the SR, for example, will still have analog gauge clusters and then like a little screen in the center like they currently have. So don't worry, you're not going to be forced to have like a crazy big digital gauge cluster and massive infotainment system as well. They're still going to, reserve those for the higher end packages. Something that I didn't talk about in the 4Runner video that I should have talked about, but we will talk about in this video, is pricing on this new truck. And then I also kind of talked about the 4Runner pricing, since I kind of missed that in that video. So right now, Tacomas have actually gotten quite a bit more expensive than what they used to be. It seems like a base model Tacoma is in like the high 20s, depending on the equipment that you add to it. And then kind of like your middle of the line Tacoma's more like high 30s. Low 40s, and then fully loaded Tacoma is just over $50,000 nowadays for like a loaded up TRD Pro. And so judging by what they did with the Tundra when they fully redesigned it from a price point perspective, I think the same thing's going to happen with the Tacoma. So I would feel like it's safe to assume that pricing is going to increase by probably $4,000 to $5,000 with all of the packages, especially considering inflation and the fact that this truck is not going to be released for at least another year, maybe even 2 years potentially. And so loaded up Tier D Pro is probably going to be a $55,000, maybe even a $60,000 truck by the time that this new Tacoma comes out, which I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments about that because it's going to be a $55,000 to $60,000 truck with a 4-cylinder most likely. And so, well, yeah. Well, and it's a mid-sized truck too. We'll see how people end up feeling about that. And then the 4Runner, same thing. 4Runner pricing is actually pretty close to Tacoma pricing, and so similar pricing scheme. So I think that a fully loaded 4Runner, for the new body style is probably going to be in that $55,000 to $60,000 price range, which, yeah, let me know what you guys think on that. Other than that, that's pretty much everything that we know so far on the new Tacoma. So the big changes obviously are the body style, the interior and the exterior, but from a performance perspective, it doesn't look like things are gonna, really change all that much, I guess, except for the fact that, just like the 4Runner, just like the Tundra and everything else in the lineup, it will have multi-link suspension in the rear end instead of leaf springs. So that is another big change that we mentioned in the 4Runner video. And so, yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you.